My name is Rick Reagan. I run Southern Roofing Company of Tennessee for a little over 40 years. I started in the early 80s, and my first customers, to find them was a little difficult at first. Everybody used the yellow pages of the phone book back in those days. So I got a yellow page ad, waited for the phone to ring, did get some calls, but a lot of people knew that I grew up in the roofing and construction business, so they'd ask me to roof their houses and do repair work on their homes. After I got established a little bit, I moved on into some small commercial work, and I'd actually stopped by some job sites then and asked if I could price the roof on the project. And I did get some work that way. Before long, I did get some yellow page calls, and I had got a little following in the construction business. So when I decided to go in business for myself, it was mainly money. I had grown up in the construction and roofing business, working for my father when I started about 16 years old. Across several states, I was hired to oversee some roofing projects for a developer that was building Walmarts. That's when Walmart expanded in the late 70s. So I did that for a couple of years and started a family. So I come back to Nashville, and I worked for a small roofing company at that time. And I was working 60, 70 hours a week to take care of his business. And I decided that it would, if I was going to put the time in, it'd be better for myself. I could better provide for my family working for myself. So that's kind of the way I went into the business. I never give a lot of thought to retiring. In the early days, my son worked with me. And as time went on, he kind of went down a different path. And I never really thought about retiring. I got to 65 years old, and the property around here had gotten to be very expensive. So I got a few offers on the property. I'd run the business out of this location for over 35 years. But the offer got so good, I just couldn't refuse it. So I decided to sell the property, and I was about 65 at that time. So I went around the city trying to find a new location. Property everywhere was expensive, and I stopped to think, I'm 65 years old, I've got to start all over with a new location, the cost of moving the business, and at that time I just decided to look for a buyer, somebody that might have some of the same ideas and values that I had, and would try to sell the company to give my employees something to do, somewhere to stay. I didn't know where to start. I never sold a business. I've got a few cold calls, and it was the investment funds, the people that just wanted to build it up and sell it off. Once I met with James and John, though, I really felt like after our first meeting that it would be a good fit. Before they contacted me, I had 2 or 3 other potential buyers. They were basically big investment firms that were looking to buy my business. Me continued to run it for 3 to 5 years as they built it up, and then they were intended to sell it off. So that was not working for me at all. I met some of the other ones. I actually met with a large roofing company that intended to break the company up. He was going to operate it from 2 different locations, and I knew that wouldn't work for my customers or my employees. If they're going to take it over and deal with your customers and employees, you want somebody that's got some of the same values and ideas that you got. And I think that's what I found in John and James. They have some similar values. If I could talk to somebody that was getting to starting into selling their business, I would recommend they look for a personality and somebody that would be compatible. I think that's more important than the money. I really felt like after our first meeting that it would be a good fit, and can't be happier. It's worked well with me, my employees, my customers. I think it's just been a good experience.